Right, we've got our legs, bumps and tums now. It is a Wednesday morning. You're going to need equipment is your chair and kettlebell. I suggest that you keep your kettlebell really close to you because it's going to flow straight through. There are no breaks on this morning's workout. Right, so exercise one, we've got a wide stance. We've just got our basic chair squats. And away we go. Okay, so you can do what you like with your arms. You know my preferred position is here. So exercise one is this. Exercise two is our partials. Now if it starts to get too much, or if you want to straight from the get-go, you can pop your hands onto here, okay? Just make sure you're sitting down and then stand it straight up and down. So our workout this morning is all based on 10 seconds, 2 exercises per block. Partials, so that's small rise, just make sure you're sitting down. Okay, so we have some rain down here this morning. I don't know how you lot are, or wherever you are. Okay, and back up. So my lounge is currently covered in chair covers that are soaking because I left them out last night. Okay, and we're back to our partials. So like I say, it's going to be a fast moving workout. I think there's approximately, and all the way up for me, I think there's approximately 10 seconds rest this morning in the whole of the workout. Yeah, okay, yeah, it's going to be one of those mornings, guys. And then we're back to those partials here. And then we've got one more round of the full squats when you hear the bell. Back to the full squat for me. Then when you hear the bell again, the final one on this one, it's going to be in the last set of partials. So, back to our partials. And then because I've asked you to get your kettlebell really close to you, we're going to go straight into suitcase pickups on the right-hand side. Okay, so suitcase pickups on the right-hand side. So, fast moving, like I said. Now, pick it up, step it out, side bend. So just make sure you keep adjusting the feet between the suitcase and the side bend. Adjusting the feet, back to your suitcase. Now, again, on the suitcase, as always, don't be leaning over. Practice, again, keeping yourself square. And then staying up, reaching over. Now you can do what you like with this hand. Fingertips, hips, ceiling, over, whatever. And back to your suitcase. Back to suitcase. So fast moving, 10-second rounds of legs, bums and tums. Not a lot of time for me to drift off. Side bends, please. Side bends. Okay. Back to your suitcase, please. So back to suitcase. I had a bit of a nosebleed this morning, guys. I've managed to get it sticking out, still going a little bit. And side bend for me. I've got a big block of kitchen roll in case it starts again. It was like, my pajama bottoms were covered in blood and I couldn't understand where it was coming from. Okay, back to your suitcase for me. Then I realised my nose was bleeding. So trying not to let it get started again. Okay, last set of side bends. And then we're going to keep with the kettlebell, keeping the same foot position, and we're going to go for basic pickups. So, swap it, basic pickups. Now with this one, it's a kettlebell swing. Okay, if you don't want to do the swing, just do a bicep, okay? So kettlebell swing high. Now it's a bicep if you don't want to do that. I know that's not legs, but it's just staying off an exercise that you don't like. Back to your pickups, down. And as always, when you're working on the kettlebells and we're doing these fast changeovers, if it's a momentum exercise like the kettlebell swing, finish your repetition off safely and swing it. Getting a bit close to the camera, mate. I have people turning around because they think they're going to hit the camera. And pickups for me, please. Pickups. Like I said, it's going to persist on this 10-second rounds all the way through. Okay, and we're on to our swings. Swings. We're 26 exercises in already, guys. I haven't worked out how many we've got, but we've got a lot. Back to pickups. And we've already done this routine this week with the kettlebell pickups from the swing. I think it's a really good one, gang. I really do. Otherwise, it wouldn't stay. And swing it for me, please. This one is round 4 of 5. If you've not noticed, we're doing 5 rounds of everything. That's it. Back to your pickups. Back to your pickups. And then we've got one more swing after this. And then we're going to go to our suitcase pickup and our side bends on the left. And swing for the last one. Okay. And then make sure you safely stop the momentum. Step it in, suitcase on your left. Now, whatever variation you did on the suitcase, I want on the side bend. So step the foot out, side bend. So whatever you did with that hop, the arm on the other side, you're doing it again, okay? And back to your suitcase. Back to your suitcase for me, please. Again, make sure you're not leaning over. You're using that arm out in a straight line so it's not trailing backwards. Back to side bends. Adjust the feet. That's it. That's good. And back to your suitcase. So step them feet in. Again, just have a quick check as you're picking up to make sure that your toes are pointing forwards. Sorry, I'm just moving my feet back so it's getting on shot. And step it out again for your side bend. And we are 3 rounds in, guys, on the second side of suitcases and side bends. And back to your suitcase. Adjust those feet, check those toes, make sure that arms are, even though it's a base exercise, there's lots of technicalities, guys. Work on them and you'll be fine. Side bend. Okay. Oh, it looks like the rain stopped. It's not a bad thing, guys, but we could do with a bit more rain than 30 seconds. Okay, back to suitcase. Back to suitcase. It looks like it was just enough rain to ruin my cushions. Yeah. And last set of side bends for me. Next exercise is 1 pick up, 1 jump. 1 pick up, 1 jump next. Okay, so put that down. 1 pick up, 1 jump. Okay. And the next exercise is a clean and squat. Okay, so we clean it, squat it, touch down, clean, squat, touch down. Pick up and jump again for me, guys. Fairly relentless. How we doing? Are we all right? Oh, we're looking a bit dishevelled already. Okay. And basically clean and squat. So gather it into the chest, deep squat, elbows on the inside of the knees. Pick up and jump, guys. If you don't want to do the jump, obviously you can get rid of the jump. You can just do your, basic pick up. Back to clean and squat. Back to clean and squat. So this is a heavily instructed, workout with not a lot of normal verbal from me. Okay, pick up and jump. Pick up and jump. Okay, clean and squat. Clean and squat. Let's give you a timing. Okay, this one is round 4. We've got 1 more round before we introduce another block. Pick up and jump. Pick up and jump. Last set of clean squats. Last set of clean squats. We're staying with the kettlebell. We've got slingshot squat next. Okay, so our slingshot squat, adjust the feet, round the back, touch down. With this, we've got a figure 8. Figure 8. So we're just passing through. Make sure the kettlebell's going front to back and you've got enough room on the kettlebell to pick it. Back to your slingshot squat. So we touch down, round the back, touch down. Now remember, all these videos that I'm doing is solely for soul people. Solely for you. Okay, let's go. Back to your figure 8. Figure 8. Okay, and then back to your slingshot. I think I've gone wrong somewhere, guys. I know I haven't. Slingshot squat. I thought I'd gone wrong, but I haven't. Figure 8. Now, I'm not going to be here this time next week, guys. I will be already on my way to London. Okay. And slingshot squat. But we will be making sure that you've got everything in process. I've worked really hard. I'm continuing to work really hard at getting everything in for you. Okay, figure 8. So the plan is that I've opened up a new WhatsApp group just for you lot. Okay, and last set of slingshot squat. Last set of slingshot squat. Okay. Last set of figure 8s. Last set of figure 8s. After that, we're back on the chair and we've got a narrow stance squat. Pop the kettlebell down. Okay. We've got a narrow stance squat. So these are different to the wide one that we started with. It hits different muscle groups. Okay, add the jack. So this time we've got the jack. So it's chair squat basic with the feet narrow. Okay, back to your basic. So the plan is for next week that whatever days you train, I'm going to be loading whatever classes there are on the timetable up. Add the jack. So add the jack for me. So how are you going to use it whilst I'm away? So if you train on a Monday, you're going to have the choice of what Monday classes, Tuesday, Wednesday, all the way through. Okay, back to your chair squats, guys. So in other words, if you normally do the 7 o'clock on a Monday morning, there'll be a choice of 7 o'clock classes. And whatever class you do, add the chair jack. And you'll have 6 days of that. Because God said we rest on Sunday, so we're going to do it. He's wiser than me. Okay, let's go back to your chair squat basic. Chair squat basic. So it'll be really quite easy to follow. I will explain it more on WhatsApp. Add the jack for me. Add the jack. So it'll be user-friendly routines. I will put some classes up that you can choose to do at that time frame. Last set of basic chair squats. Now coming up is your only rest, guys. Is your only rest coming up. Chair jack. Last set of chair jacks. Time. 70 rounds in, you get your first break. Down on the floor, we've got ballerinas. I want the right leg out. We're doing ballerina switches. Are we ready, guys? In 3, 2, 1, let's go. So, right leg coming in as you sit up. Again, you're going to have 2 exercises. Second exercise is cycle. Okay, so we've got our right leg cycle coming in. Left knee stays where it is. And then we're going to be flicking between these 2 exercises. Okay, back to your ballerina switch. Back to your ballerina switch, guys. And then back to your cycle for me. So the left knee will be bent on this one. Be the right leg coming in and your left elbow coming over to touch. Back to your switch, and it'll be right leg coming in again as you're sitting up. So we've now entered the lying down section. Okay, and back to your cycle. So it's that right leg coming in, left elbow coming over to touch. Okay, and then back to your switchy ballerina. Switchy ballerina. Right leg cycle, guys. So remember, this is a legs, bums and tums. You should feel like you're getting there, guys, on the legs. Okay, then we're going back to our last set of ballerina switches on the right. Last set of cycles on your right. Roll straight over, and we've got side raise. Right leg moving, okay? Right leg moving. Now you're just going to hold it. Hold it. So we've got a movement and a hold. Try to make it not too aggressive. And back to movement, okay? So again, if you're feeling it on the front of the hip flexors, it's because you're allowing yourself to drop over like that and use them. So don't be doing that. Keep it forwards. Okay, and we're up and we're holding. Now, if you want to make this a bit more funky, just slide that foot further away and that'll lift the waist off the floor. And then back to the raise. So that simple addition of the foot being pushed away will activate a little bit more glute and a little bit more waist. Up and hold it. So if you want to, hold in. If you want to, remember, it's just that slide that foot away. Back to your movement. Okay. So back to movement. Again, simple this morning. Fast moving. Now going to hold it, guys. And again, remember, if you want to make it more challenging, you just literally hitch that hip. Sort of slide it down like so. Okay, and then we've got our hold for the final, our raise for the final one. Our raise for the final one. Sorry, gang. 'Tis early, you know I hate exercise. And then hold for the final one. After this, it's rolling back on the back, and it's left side ballerina switch. So we've got our left side ballerina switch. So it'll be the left leg coming in as you sit up. Okay. And then from there, it's the left leg cycle. So that left leg coming over and your right elbow going to touch it. Back to your switch. So again, I don't need to overly heavily instruct this one because you've already done it, guys. Cycle, that'll be your left leg coming in. Okay. Bet you can't guess what's coming after these, can you? Nah. Okay, ballerina, please. Ballerina switch. Okay, cycles. So we've got that left knee coming up to touch the right elbow. You'll always have one elbow on the floor, and that one's coming over to touch, and fingers behind the head. Back to your switches. Back to your switches, guys. Cycles, left leg moving. Last set of switches, gang. Last set of cycles, and then you're going to be rolling it over onto your right side so your left leg can move. Roll it straight over, and we've got that side raise. And again, remember the importance of not letting your hips just slack back down there. You're rolling slightly forwards. And then we're just going to hold it. Remember, you can just hitch that foot away a little bit. It'll lift the waist off and intensify the hit here. Then you can sort of stay there. And then we're back to that rise. Now, the second that you get yourself in a more correct position, it makes it more challenging on the raise. You're not going to be able to go as high, in other words. And then we hold it. Then we hold it. And then back to the raise for me. Back to the raise. You'll notice I've just softened that bottom knee. You can either have it straight or bent a bit. Whatever makes you comfy, and then hold it. There's no right or wrong on that one. So we're just on the hold for the third set. You might find the second set more challenging. That's because your brain knows what's coming. And then raise it up and down. So this is our legs, buns and tums. I decided a harder class than people think. And then you've got a hold for me. A hold. Let's go moving. This is your last set of moving on this side. Okay, and the last set of holds. And then you're going to roll over onto your back after this one, and it's going to be right leg over. So we've got our right cross-foot crunch, right cross-foot crunch. Hold it high, send it in and out, okay? So you must hold yourself for high, and you can take the legs as high or as low as you want to. Back to your cross-foot crunch. Make sure you're supporting the head with just your fingertips. Hold it high, cross-foot crunch in and out. So this is your crunch that you're holding with your leg extension, okay? Basic cross-foot crunch. Hold it as high as you can, and then sending the legs out. Remember, the lower they go, the harder it is. Okay, so you can take them wherever you want. Back to cross-foot crunch. Now I'm going to drop around off of these guys because I'm just mindful of time. Hold it high for the extension. And then we're going to go straight into splits. Straight into splits. Right down, and we're going splits with a scissor at the top. Keep that spine down. Hold it out wide and give me a little bounce. Hold it out wide and give me a little bounce there. Back to your split with a scissor. Now don't just willy-nilly cross those legs over, just make sure you're squeezing that thigh together as it comes over, and then we're just going to hold it and bounce it. That's it. Back to your scissor splits. Back to your scissor splits. back to that bounce. And again, really focus on that. Now, if you didn't, and if your legs are dropping forwards and you need to pause the video to get a little cushion underneath your legs, okay, let's go for me. And we're on our scissor bounce. Now, if you do struggle getting your legs in a straight line up, and if they always feel like they're falling to the floor, it's hamstrings. Hold it out wide and bounce it. Okay. It's your hamstrings that's stopping you. Okay, so a little bit of tip and tilt on the tailbone will help that. And then scissor it for your last set of these. Last set of these. And then we've got one more set on the cross foot crunch. Hold it out and bounce it. Again, really focus on that spine down, tip in and tuck in. Get ready to go left over right for your cross foot crunch. Left over right, cross foot crunch. Now again, we're just going to do 4 rounds of these. Okay, hold it high and then extend it. Holding high and extending it. Back to your cross foot crunch. And again, if you want to make this harder, just simply raise the ankles a little bit. Okay, and come in right the way up. Hold it high and then send those legs out. This is a really tough top drawer exercise, guys. Okay, back to your basic cross foot crunch for round 3 of 4. Hold it high for that extension. So remember, when I'm away, and I'm away for a long time, so I'm away for 4 and a bit weeks, hold it high. I have worked really hard so that you can keep your training program going, and I will upload everything onto WhatsApp. Okay, hold it high and leg extension. And this will be your last one of these, guys. And time, okay. And at home, please bring yourself in. If you've just done that on the video, well done you.